Jack, what's that? What price are you seeing up here for call walls?
68.50. I got short 2
5-0.
MES to start.
Let's go. Let's go.
To play off yesterday's highs.
Cool.
Join Braden here. Braden, are you still
I like it.
short NQ or MNQ?
Yeah, I am, Jack.
Okay.
Can we get
I'm
another?
on a 50 average, so I'll be patient.
All right, sounds good. We might got my eye on crude right now. We're sitting beneath $60, $59.93.
Yep. We got the break of
Come on.
60s. I want to see 59. I want to see 59.60s here. It's the next low on the hourly.
59.60. Okay.
Nice trade
Just
on
those
crude.
59.
Thank you.
You just jumped in that sucker. You just
Well,
did.
I mean, there's only
I
so
told you
much
it's
we
volatile.
can do. Yeah, I mean, I can be wrong a couple times about that, but like we cannot continue rejecting 61s like that and expect to hold 60s. I mean,
Love
we
it.
can a couple times, but I'm gonna be wrong on that eventually. I'm gonna be right on that eventually. Damn it.
Tell him,
but
Braden. That's all. Braden, that is
I mean, it
pattern
is.
recognition. That is screen time right there, my man.
Yeah, and trying to keep the losses small when I'm wrong. Like, when I was wrong, I cut it 60-40, but like there's only so many pivots we can get off 61, even on that lower high. Eventually we're gonna break. Just have to. There's nowhere for it to move.
Tell him. Get out of here. 1644.5. Last trade. It's a goal. Can we print 4,000s? Can we print 4,000 Dakota?
So close. I'm sitting here watching it, waiting.
You
Got
sure are sitting there
994.
watching it, Dakota. You've been sitting there watching it all morning long. But also
999.
9, 6, or 7. I'd like again, if you didn't hear the news, extra, read all about it. Dakota on the front page of all the publications. Dakota getting called up, back going pro ball. Well done, Dakota. We're gonna see you again today. We'll see you on Slow Market, 7:30 p.m. Central. Coach Jay. Thoughts, Dakota? The question: do you miss the NQ? I saw that question in the chat. You're not done trading the NQ, but
no, I trade the NQ. You guys seen me? I traded it last night. I trade the NQ guy. I think I even took a trade today, right? Yeah, I had a 100-point banger, 120-point banger on the NQ. What are you guys talking about? I was long in the NASDAQ this morning.
I can get you fired up on something there. Oh, 4,000 print. There we go. 4,000.
Rage baiting me, Andre.
Yep. Go to a fantastic stuff. Jack, we're gonna see you in shoulder tap, right? See you in shoulder tap. Yep. And then also we're going to Braden, keep us posted in the chat on how this trade plays out, because this crude looks ripe for another move to the downside. We got morning recap coming up next. Trade with Top Step coming up after that. The president's scheduled to speak at noon. And then, of course, group coaching. Make sure you get those questions in. We're talking about wealth and knowledge. You heard Hogue talking about what he was seeing in the, in just the, the orders getting printed on the bottom of the hour and a half. They're going to keep grinding this thing higher. It's unreal. We got 50-50 on the tilt right now, but the markets are just in a push higher. I wonder if this squeeze is really happening in the NASDAQ.
Maybe people think if tariffs are disappearing.
Buy the dip.
That's what it is. That's what it is, Jack. Good call. Good call. Yep. That goes. All right, 3,200 people still have less likes than Dakota gets on slow markets. Can we beat that, please? We gotta get to 800. Can we get to 800 likes? We were at 720 or so. But fantastic session. It was quiet to start. It definitely started picking up, and then they got a Supreme Court decision. Nice insight. Jack, keep us posted on this trade. Braden, well done. Let's see if we get this crew to sell off. Dakota, thanks for showing up, my man. It's always great to see you, Dakota. With that being said, this is Top Step TV. Let's go. Morning recap coming up next.
Click like, click subscribe. This is Top Step TV.
One of my favorite new features in the TopStep dashboard is the real-time trade report processing. Traders no longer have to wait until the end of the trading day to be able to check their progress across their accounts. In addition to that, if you pass your trading combine, you can activate your Express Funded account instantly, giving you the freedom and control to decide when you are ready to take the next step in your journey with us. I think that is really cool.
Futures traders should know and understand what open interest is. Open interest, quite simply put, is the number of outstanding contracts in a futures product. Why is it important? Open interest can tell you when money is coming into or being pulled out of a specific futures contract. Now, how can you use that to your advantage? When price is rising over time and open interest is increasing, that says that money is coming in to the long side of the market. It's a strong move to the upside. Open interest starts to fall off in that direction, maybe the market's running out of gas a little bit. And the same is true in the opposite direction. If price is moving lower over time on increasing open interest, money is coming into the short side in that market. But if open interest starts to fall off as price continues to go lower, maybe the downside is now out of gas. I hope this simple explanation of open interest is going to help you trade well. All right, it is time for the morning recap. Hopefully you've had a successful and profitable trading morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. As always, we're going to take a look at the opening range trades for the house account, the trades that were taken during fast markets. A couple of good ones there. This will be a lot of fun. Let's take a look. Starting with gold, I had some pretty decent trades in gold today. Well, we'll start with the house account. Of course, we're going to start with a little bit of context. So the market opened in range in kind of the high of value from yesterday. We're still inside of the range from yesterday. A little bit of a smaller range today for gold, but hey, day ain't over yet. Let's take a look. So go down to the 5-minute chart here and take a look at the opening range trade. So the opening range breakout trade got us long to micro gold 39.83 and 80. We did take a decent profit 1-to-1 basically on that trade. Got out of one at 39.92.30. Of course, the market turned around and came and hit our stop. So it basically scratched the whole trade. Hey, a scratch isn't a bad thing. Dakota came in looking for a long up here, 39.91, got long 2 micro gold, but did not like what he was seeing up there. Covered those for a scratch, which was a pretty good idea. Go to the 30-minute. What is this? This actually on a 720 open is a failed upside auction. Doesn't look like it there. That's where Dakota was looking for the long, didn't like what he saw, scratched that trade a really good out. We did put a failed downside auction below the initial balance. That's basically where our house account stop got hit. Dakota started looking for longs again in the gold here. Got long 4 micro gold, 39.87 on the way back up. We took those out basically at an average price of about 39.93. I think at this point he was up about $600 on the day. Had a couple other trades here we'll take a look at. First off, however, let's take a look at crude oil, and we have Braden currently short crude. A very interesting morning in crude. Crude has been a bit of a pill to trade with. I told everybody earlier this morning that crude oil and we're going to counseling because I'm not ready to give up on it, but it has been a tough trade. Always opportunities, though. Now, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, we've been kind of looking at the market kind of rotating near or getting closer to kind of lower levels here. Market opened at near the low of the range from yesterday. There was no real the opening range actually didn't end up being neither the high nor the low. We did take the opening range breakout to the short side, 2 micro gold 6010. Market did not pay us much at all on that. We did end up getting our stop hit about 60.23, a very cheap exit on that, about $61. Braden started looking for shorts. He was looking for the market to kind of break down below $60, which we see now actually has happened, but unfortunately it had to take the long road. Braden was pretty confident in this trade, and especially when we put this failed upside auction above the initial balance high. Very narrow initial balance. I mean, 22 tick initial balance. Initial balance high 60 and a quarter. Initial balance low 60.03. He's accumulated a total of 3 CL, 10 micro, 2 CL short at about at 60.17. Tried to hold on to those, but it just ended up getting stopped out on those up at 60.40. Saw the market come back into the initial balance, kind of ripped into 4 micro crude shorts at 60.11. And as far as I know, Braden still has those on. So finally, he's getting his breakdown below $60 that he was looking for. We'll see how much further that continues to pay him. All right. So we were watching the equities this morning. Okay. The market was, kind of the low end of the range from yesterday. It really showed acceptance in value from yesterday. Really kind of focusing on what was going on at the initial balance high. Initial balance high in the S&P 68.29.50. We did leave a failed upside auction, which would lead us to kind of look for opportunities for shorts. But there was some price action that we were talking about during fast markets where I was I was not very confident in a return to the initial balance low on this failed upside auction. As a matter of fact, right before we saw this failed upside auction, we saw some pretty stiff buying coming in as though there were traders, entities, whatever you want to call them, that were trying to push and show that this market was strong. So we saw that price action right before 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, right before 9:30. And we did actually end up putting in a failed upside auction. So the trade was really to the short side, but we really didn't get much of a pullback. We didn't get much of a pullback on the next bar. And then this bar closed above the initial balance high. What did we see? We saw another 30-minute time change, whether it's on the hour or the half hour, where we saw a bunch of buying coming in. That tells me that there is likely an entity or entities out there that have time-based orders that are to be executed on the 10 and the 10:30. And at that point, I was like, I'm not looking for shorts here anymore. I think Jack was probably thinking about looking for an opportunity up against this failed upside auction, which I kind of talked him out of. At least I hope I had something to do with it. So the market, closed that next 30-minute bar above the initial balance high. We get a pretty good extension above that initial balance high. The buying does not necessarily appear to be over. Jack, looking at a options level, was looking for opportunities for short. We're short 2 MES 68.43. We don't know what's going to happen. It is right up against last week's low, which I kind of like that. Why? Well, it helps us limit risk. Now let's take a look at the NASDAQ. We did have some activity in the NASDAQ today. We had Dakota trading NASDAQ today. Yes, he did trade NASDAQ today. And yes, he did have a 100-point banger on 1 MNQ. Braden started looking for shorts. Again, let's take a look at context. The market opened low of the range from yesterday, below value. Let's take a look on the 5-minute chart, what we were looking at with our traders on fast markets. The market opens, he puts in the initial balance low really early in the session. Braden was looking for shorts. He got short 3 MNQ, 25.532, and stopped out of those not too long after that at 25.590. just about that same time, Dakota started looking for longs. He got long 4 MNQ 25 451. He got out of 3 of them, decent profits, 10, 30 points on 3 of those contracts, and held on to that runner. What if we had a runner? Well, this particular runner made him an extra 100 points on a 1 lot. Now, leaving fast markets today, Braden was not only short the crude oil, he's got short 5 MNQ at 25,765. This is a level that Braden was looking for throughout the session. He placed the orders up there. My dad used to call those wishing orders. When you're looking for an opportunity in the market where you don't know if it's going to get there or not, but you place the orders anyway. Well, Braden got his wishing orders filled. 5 shorts, MNQ 25,765. Maybe Braden will let us know how this plays out for him. Just kind of hanging not too far from his entry price here. Great trading as always today on Fast Markets. Let's take a moment and take a look at today's quotable quote. All right. So everybody talks about patience when it comes to trading. Patience waiting for your trade to set up. Patience waiting for your strategy to align with market state. All of these things. But it is extremely important, of course, in pretty much everything in life to have patience because all things are difficult until they become easy. I like this quote because patience is a big part in trading, and trading is difficult. If you are able to have enough patience and spend enough time to make trading easy, God bless you. I've never found it necessarily to be easy. I just get better at being patient. There is your quotable quote. Blessings to you all. Looking forward to seeing this next segment. We've got a rising star coming up here. We've got Creed coming up with JD and Jay. Got a new Express funded account ready to tackle these markets. Folks, you're in the right place. Looking for trade entertainment and good trading. This is Top Step TV. Let's go.
All right, welcome back to Top Step TV. Thanks for hanging out. We are back, and we got a rising star here. His name is John Doherty.
Oh,
JD,
hey.
tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you find Top Step? How did Top Step find you?
Oh
how
man,
are
what
you
a
looking at the
journey it
markets right
was.
now?
Well, I see Jack in the chat. He's still short a couple of micro S&P. He's looking for the hammer of justice to come down on the S&P right now. I see what he's looking at. It kind of looks like we might be potentially bull flagging at the same time. So we're at kind of a crossroads in the sort of an inflection point, you might say. 68.43 half in the ES. That is last week's low. So we've been jockeying for position around there for the last, I don't know, maybe half hour or so. We're butting up right against it again right now. We're just underneath the lows or the high of the day. High of the day, 68.4675. So we will see here. I've also got a 9 EMA on this 5-minute chart at 68.40. Held as a bit of support. I don't like I use that term loosely, support. We bounce right off of that 68.40 level. So we're just kind of drifting at the moment. So eventually this market will break out, whether it's to the upside or downside. We can only take a guess right now, but if this is indeed a flagging pattern, we could be breaking out. Let me switch down to a 1 minute. We might get a clearer flag pattern on that.
Coach wants to know what's your favorite donut, new trader JD. JD's been here for for a moment. Looking at these markets for a while, but what's your favorite donut? Let us know.
I'm a Boston cream
we do
guy.
have cream coming up. Boston cream. There you go. There you go. That was a top seller when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. That was
a
top seller for sure.
So if this is indeed a flagging pattern we're looking at in the ES, we are seeing a bit of a breakout to the upside. We'll see if they can maintain it. But switch back over to the 5-minute chart. What's the 15-minute doing? Steadily losing volume on this move up. So it makes the shorts look a little nicer than the longs when you see that decreasing volume as you continue to inch higher. Wrong answer. Someone in the chat told me
there's no wrong answer. JD.
All we do are wrong answers here. You know, this is not the place to correct people. We're not here to judge. Everybody likes what they like, right?
All right, we got all right, Jack is short 68.44, 5 MES. Got that average price there. I'll share my charts in just a second. So I did see some size on the NASDAQ book right at 25,800. I was in an S&P long right before we got off of here. I'm out of that trade, was long from 68.25. So I do see potential rejection up here. Curious to see if the NASDAQ wants to go take out those orders, though, at 25,800 first before we do turn around. Right now, we are kind of extended from a New York session VWAP, which is down at 670s. We're about 100 points off of that right now, so I wouldn't be surprised at a pullback. But let's see what the markets are willing to present here. S&P does have some size also up at 68.79. There's 600 contracts up there. I don't know what they're doing all the way up there, but they're up there.
879. How do you even see that?
Yeah, it's up there. I'm looking at a.
Oh, you're looking at
800 contracts, 68.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 68.79 all the way up there. Let's see what happens here. Chat, let us know. Are you guys in any trades? What's going on right now? Let's take a look at the tilt. See how we're looking here. 60% short in the S&P, average price 68.34. 53% long in the NASDAQ. Crude and gold pretty much 50-50 here. Quote some prices. The S&P trading 68.44 quarter. The NASDAQ 25,771 and a half. Gold trading 39.94. Gold just had to stop us out of that trade, JD, before we eventually turned around and tested that 4,000 level. But good management on that one. Good management. Did not turn it to a losing trade. And crude oil 59.82 last trade in crude. Nice short by Braden there.
So looking at this flagging pattern in the NQ, it looks a little cleaner than it did in the ES on the 5-minute chart. Here's your pattern here. The sort of this bull flag. We'll get confirmation of a breakout if we start trading up to new highs. We got 25,785. We rejected right off of that. That's yesterday's value area high. So we are still trading inside range, inside value from yesterday. It's been sort of a sideways couple of days here. But if we can break out of yesterday's value area and sort of start accepting those higher prices, well, that wouldn't be good for Jack Short, but I could see getting long at new highs in the NQ.
For a breakout, what would be your target up here? I was looking at the NQ, and a potential target is all the way up at 25,950. We've already seen more than a daily ATR range if you include the overnight, so that would be a stretch target for sure. It's another that would put us at a 700-point day, almost a 700-point day, 660-point day on the NASDAQ. If we want to continue grounding higher here. So keeping that in mind as well, right? Are we already kind of stretched as far as range goes in these markets? That could be a case for a little bit of a reversal.
What do you have for average daily range in the NQ?
ATR, Jack says we have $50 of risk in this ES trade, so no big deal at all. I like that. Small risk, potential big reward if we get this failure. Let's take a look. Daily ATR in the NASDAQ, 415 points. And right now we are, we're at like 515, so about 100 points above the average.
So when you see that,
real newspaper in the chat says 950 target for the real newspaper in the chat, long from 516. That is a hell of a trade.
Nice. So when you see see ranges expanding like that against the average true range, are you looking for more range expansion, or are you sort of looking for things to slow down and start falling back a little bit? Is there a strategy behind that?
It really depends on the type of day. It really depends on the type of day, JD. Let me share my charts actually. Hold on one second. But like a day like yesterday, right? Yesterday was a range expansion day as well, where we had a 560 point range in the NASDAQ when the daily ATR was 408. And there was just never a bid that stepped in the market. And then we had some downside levels, right? If there's a catalyst that the market's waiting for, and we're at a daily ATR, let's say there's an FOMC meeting tomorrow and we're already at a daily ATR today, then I'm probably not looking for range expansion, because we say it all the time, right? The market's probably waiting for something. So I'd more than likely look for a trade back into the range. But if it's a catalyst day where we had a Fed rate decision, we're already above that daily ATR and the market's trending strongly, then I'm looking for that range expansion, because it is going to happen every once in a while. A lot of times what I'll do is look at prior day ranges. So if you look at the 31st, which was last Friday, and this Monday to start, those were both range contraction days. And if we understand how averages work, at some point you're going to need to see an above average range day just to keep the ATR where it is. And that's today and yesterday. So it really depends. Coach Ray and I actually did a class when we first started at Top Step, and there's a document that we put together. I'll try to find the link to it, put it in the chat, but just setting expectations for market personality, and what characteristics of a trading day precede range expansion versus range contraction days. I'll see if I can find that the link to that document, put it in the chat.
Awesome. Hey, just a heads up, Creed, we see you in the chat. Understand you're having some issues with vMix right now. We're going to have someone get a hold of you in just a second. Let me type up a note real quick. Oh, Dolby's on it. Never mind. Thank you, Mr. Dolby Time. I see you in there. We got to figure it out, Creed. We still got a half hour left. There he is. I see him in the back. All right, we're creeping up to new highs in the S&P now. Hit it to the tick.
I'll scratch
Double
that
top
trade.
there.
Nice.
Very, very minor double top.
Prices here, 59.80.
Go ahead,
yeah. No real extension there. Right? It's kind of thin up here, JD. We have VWAP in the S&P all the way down at 68.21, and we are 25 points off of that right now. So Again, thin air up here. Can we continue to grind higher? We can, but I don't want to be the last buyer, right? If I'm looking to trade this and try to get into the trend to the upside, I need at least a 7-point pullback is what we've been seeing in the S&P, 7 to 10 points before we continue higher. Because again, it does look pretty thin up here. Market's still grinding to the upside though.
It is, and it does look thin up here.
Mike Brunelli has a question in the chat. How do you get those ATR numbers? So I'm just using the ATR indicator on TopStepX. Give me 1 second. I'll share my screen and I'll show you. Where are we? TopStepX. All right. All right, production team, you guys should have my charts, but basically just using an ATR indicator. You can see it on the bottom of my chart right here. This ATR, if you hover over the candles, I'm usually not even looking at the line itself. I just care about the number. But if I hover over these candles, you can see that number changes. And right now, coming into today, the daily ATR, because I'm on a daily chart, is 415 points. And then I'll measure what we did high to low, and we're above a daily ATR because we've had a 515-point range. The ATR indicator is also pretty good. Coach Paul, if you've heard Coach Paul, he's going to tell you to use the ATR as a measurement of risk and where your stop should go. So let's say I execute a trade on a 3-minute chart in the NASDAQ. If I get in a short right here, the ATR is 21 points. The Coach Paul suggestion is use 2 times that ATR as your stop. So a 40-point stop in the NASDAQ, looking for a 2-to-1 trade. 40 points probably sounds like a lot to most people, but if you're trading micros, then it's probably not that much, right? But a stop based on the market's volatility and not just a dollar amount.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. How's Coach Ray doing? We haven't seen him in a while. Haven't heard from him. You still talk to him?
Coach Ray's doing good. I actually have to set up a meeting with him because we have a session that we do that's going to start up in probably early next year. So I got to reach out to him. But I talked to him about a week or 2 ago. He's doing pretty well. Doing pretty well.
I know he's a school teacher. He teaches high
class
school
in
math,
Discord
right?
every day.
Oh, he does?
Yes,
okay,
he does.
okay,
yeah,
okay.
So he's a busy dude. Yeah.
I got to start spending more time in Discord.
Teaching high school math, teaching our youth of America how to count, and then doing a class in Discord every day, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central. You can catch him there.
Yep.
And Ray records every one of his Discord. Oh, who do we got?
Who's there?
Who's here?
What's
going on, Creed?
What's up, Creed?
How you guys doing?
Oh,
you guys can all hear me okay?
Oh, there he is. There he is. What's up, man?
Sounding good.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Sounding good. What's going on, Creed?
Awesome. Welcome back.
Good.
Thank you so much. Just had some technical difficulties this morning, but I mean, I joined you guys pretty late.
No worries. We still got a half hour.
No time like the present.
Right. Tell me about it.
No time like the present, Creed. Talk to us. How are you looking at the markets right now? We got equities pushing higher days. What's going on in your trading? How are we looking at the markets?
Yeah, so I mean, my trading days are pretty early in the day. So once it gets past about 10 Central Time, or let's see, about 10:30 Central Time, I cut it my trading. But today it went really well. I mean, I took profit on the market today, and I had class today, so I ended my trade earlier. I'd still be floating in some profit. My take profits up here at this black line at this daily high of yesterday, previous day high. Fortunately, like I said, I had class, so I had to cut it short, make sure that I ended up with profit, ended up the day with $440. But there's a lot that I went through today. I mean, a lot of emotions based on how the trading days worked in the previous weeks, especially with the new tariffs and all that. But one of the things that I took into consideration today were these hourly highs that we have, or lows rather. We came in, swept those, and then I have a trading checklist that I make sure that I go through every day before I get into a trade. And at about, let's see, today, 9:30, when the market opened, we came down, swept out a little bit of liquidity, drove up, gave me bullish in position, and then came down, hit a 50% extension, went on a discount, and then I entered the trade when it closed, and gave me an entry. The entry that I have on NASDAQ was below these lows. Once we fit into this fair value gap, we shot up, and I put my lows down here, and I took profit once I had to leave for class. But like I said, today would have been a very profitable day had I not had class. But I'm really happy just taking profits at all during the day.
How do you resist the urge not to trade? How do you resist the urge not to trade in class? Is it hard?
Oh my gosh.
Great question, JD.
Really great question. Actually, one of the hardest things is trying to focus in class. I mean, my classes now, I'm a junior in college, and if I'm not paying attention in class, then the next test that I have, I'm going to pay the price for it. So I'd rather pay attention in class and understand the material than to take maybe $300 extra, $400 extra, right? And have that degree when it's all said and done, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I have a whole summer, a whole winter break to trade, and at the end of the day, when I have more time and more opportunity to trade, then I'll maximize those profits. But for now, as long as I'm green on the day, I'm happy.
There's a comment in the chat,
kids, Creed. Stay in school.
Comment in the chat from this guy. Any fool can know says, "Just drop out, bro. That's not so easy for you. You're juggling quite a bit, aren't you? You're going to school, you're trading, and you're also a student athlete. Is that correct?"
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And
so, how do you?
That's difficult.
I imagine so. So, what's the training schedule like? How do you even squeeze trading in between training and going to school?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But so every day we have weights in the morning. We have weights in the morning from 6:45 until about 7:30, depending on the schedule. Typically, we have weights from 5:45 till about 7. And then after that, I come back to the room. I get prepared for the trading day. I analyze the charts. And thankfully, all my classes start at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for me. So I'm able to conduct my trades, analyze the market, and enter trades. And then by the time all my trades are done, it's usually at about 8:30, 8:45. Then I go to class, right? So I have class at 9, and then from 9 until the end of the day, I have classes and practice. And then there's some days where I make most of my profit, and it's when we're traveling to go play at opponent stadiums, right? And on those days, I'm trading in the bus. I put my hotspot on my phone, get on my computer, and it's quiet, right? Everybody's sleeping. It's 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, analyzing these charts, and I'm in the bus, right? So the connection is a little shoddy. So there's times where I don't take profit when I want to take profit, and I ended up taking bigger losses than I want to. But nonetheless, it's definitely been a struggle to juggle everything, but I'm really happy with the way it's turned out.
Awesome.
Both within my academics, athletics, and then trading.
Good stuff,
cool.
man.
Cool.
Creed, we got a question in the chat. What sport do you play? What position do you play?
Yeah, I play football at New Mexico Highlands University. I play safety. And
nice.
So far this year, we've had a big turnaround. We're having a career year in terms of the university. We have the most wins in recent years. I would say since about 2008.
Congrats,
right now
man.
we are. Thank you so much. We're 5-4, and we're trending towards 7-4. We lost a couple just because we have a new culture, new recruits, a new team. So it's definitely been a different environment to play in. But at the same time, we do have like we're trending towards the upside.
Yeah, sounds like you're making all the right moves
Creed,
there.
You play safety. I have to ask, what's a better feeling? Seeing a receiver come across the middle, running a slant, and they don't see you coming, or a great trade setup?
Oh my
what's a better feeling? A+ setup, or seeing a receiver running a slant across the middle?
That was a tough one there, Jay. And,
right?
I mean,
it has
to be. The hit, it's gonna hurt me. The hit's gonna hurt me, anyways. I mean, the trade, it can be an A+ setup, and it can still be a loser. So at the end of the day, it's just, what's the result? Do I hit him hard enough to where I don't feel it, and is the trade perfect so where it's a perfect setup and I take profit, or is it the adverse, right, where we have a perfect setup and I still lose the trade, or I hit the receiver and it hurts me a lot more than it hurts the receiver, right? So I mean, you definitely have both on the table here. But man, I would, in terms of my audience right now, I definitely say A+ setup.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
There you go. Creed the trader. He's taking the football helmet off for right now. We do see the equities making new highs of the day. Nasdaq trading 25,796 did make a new high there, 25,804. S&P trading right at 6850. Talk to us a little bit about this trade, Creed. You said you got out, but you had an 893 target.
Yeah.
I like that target. Are you just looking for prior day highs? I saw, this morning during the opening call, we talked about, we traded below prior day lows for the New York session so far. We tested below that prior day low. Is it, just higher time frame analysis, looking for the market to test the other extreme?
Yeah. So one of the things, I mean, it comes with having time in the market, right? And one of the things that I'm looking at here is just like what's happening within the market, right? Like what do I see on the chart? One of the things that I saw was this high time frame liquidity up here at this high, this hourly high on the S&P. That would have been an easy take profit had I saw it earlier. Unfortunately, I just saw it now. But as you can see in this area right here, just all of this downside, there's no pull back at all. So typically when I see this, I'm thinking if we're going to have a move up, it's going to fill in all of this area right here, right? And having that area there to fill in allows me to take trades a little bit higher than I usually take profit at. Usually my take profits are within our daily highs and daily lows within the sessions, the red being the Asian session and the blue being London session. Those are my typical take profit points. But because we're trading in a continuation here, I have to look for more exterior take profit. Those exterior being these hourly highs or hourly lows. As you can see, like I said, the confluence that allowed me to be confident in my longs today is that we took out these hourly lows. And because we had a retrace from those hourly lows, I was confident in the fact that we were going to go up, regardless of the fact that we had swept out these London highs or these Asian highs in London market. And yeah, that's pretty much how I went about my my analysis of the chart, right? And why I'm taking. Like I said, unfortunately, I got out a little earlier. But like I said, if this trade,
the analysis is there and the trade is still playing out. So I got a question for you here, right? You got out of your ideal trade here. Is there any part of you, like I know you're locked out of your account, do you adjust and say, hey, the market is still doing what I expected it to do? It's still not at my target, so there might still be a potential trade here with reduced risk, right? Of course, if you were in at 690s, you're not going to risk 690 at this point. But is there an adjustment that you make, or do you say, hey, you know what? Trading idea is valid. I wasn't at my charts, so I took a piece of it and I just reassess and come back tomorrow. Oh, I think we lost Creed.
Oh no, I'm back. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I mean,
all right, he's here.
Definitely caught the question, right? I definitely understand the question, and unfortunately for me, the biggest thing in trading is sticking to your trading plan. No matter what, even if you have an A+ setup, you shouldn't take the trade just because that's not your plan, right? There's no reason for you to branch out from your plan because then that's where there's unnecessary risks that you're taking, especially within the market, how volatile it is, news, and the president at this day and age, right? Especially if one tweet and your trade's done, right? So limiting the amount of variables that you have to take into account definitely helps a trader out in terms of take profits that they have and are willing to take.
Good stuff. JD, we are seeing this flagging pattern play out here. You called out that bull flag.
Sure is, yeah.
Got a little bit of a pullback to the 740s in the NASDAQ, and we are up 70, 80 points from there. New high of the day, 25,819 half in the NASDAQ. S&P is trading on its highs right now, 68 let me quote this price correctly. 68.56 half last trade here in the S&P. Just continuing to grind higher. Are we in zombie mode? Kind of seen some of the chat saying that. Just a real nice push to the upside here.
Never short a quiet market, right?
Creed, I don't know if
so we.
Yeah, really. Not really seeing any headlines or anything like that coming out. Just a technical buy. So one of the things we were talking about yesterday, JD, with Coach Paul during At the Buzzer, that sell-off yesterday was kind of aggressive, right? Price-wise, we had a 500-point day to the downside in the Nasdaq. There was no news, right? No news
True.
that I could think of that should have sold the markets off that way. And it's kind of same thing here today, where I know the tariff decision by the courts, right? That the market's kind of waiting for that, but just a pretty aggressive sell-off yesterday with no real news to push us lower, and we're seeing just a complete reversal of that move right now. Just trading right back up, and no big headlines. Feels like just a lot of technical trading, which is nice, right? You just get clean price action to take advantage of it here. Trump speaks in 20 minutes.
This market today is kind of a different feel than it did yesterday, though. Today just feels like a slow kind of day, and we're just grinding higher. Yesterday didn't feel like a slow day at all. We were out of the markets in the house account all day long, and it felt like markets were moving. Those moves to the downside, they weren't super heavy, but they were consistent, and they just kept happening over and over. Every little pop just got slapped right back down. So even though it's sort of, the same environment that we were in yesterday, just flip-flop, today it's got that feel of being a little bit less noisy. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And no noise, no bad news. What do equity markets do? They just grind higher, and that's it. That is what we're seeing. A 600-point day almost here in the Nasdaq, high to low, and continuing to grind high. Made a new high there, 25,823. Chat, let us know if you guys are in any trades. Shout out to the Daily Newspaper, who is long from 516s and looking for an 893 target, I believe. 818 last trade here. So nice trade you got going on there. Take some profits, right? At some point, this is where I would say if I was in a trade, Nasdaq trade, JD, that's up 300 points. At no point should this trade be a loser. Find a way to secure some profit. Creed, you're smiling. Have you ever had that happen before? You have a profit target, and you're like, the market should get here.
Marking off yesterday,
it comes back and stops you out.
So yesterday, like you said, we had a pretty fun market, right? And I was in a long yesterday, and I was up maybe $600, $700, and ended up coming down, stopping me out, and that's no fun. Can you imagine being up so much amount of money and then you end up losing that, right? So one of the things that I did wanted to mention was on the contrary to the way price is moving today. Yesterday, I had a similar idea where I thought, hey, look, we filled in this weekly gap, right? And we're going to push higher today. This was yesterday, right? And I'm in profit. But instead of it continuing to the upside, like you said, we had that strong sell-off. And then we continued to push lower the next day and the next day and so on and so forth. But you do have to start to take into consideration your profit. Like you got to realize that, hey, it's better to win the day up and green than to be greedy and say, hey, look, I want to take profits at this level, at this, whether or not price does hit that level. Like I said, it's much better to take profit and end the day on a win than not take profit and lose, right? So that's something I just want to hammer home that you guys were saying. You got to take profit at some point, and it's okay to leave runners past a certain level, but nothing that makes it so you end up losing on the day.
Yep. Getting married to a bias too early on is just a killer. You got to be able to react to that market generated information, because the market's always giving us information, and as our trade stays on longer and longer, you got to start learning to adjust and adapt to the changing environment. Get better at I wouldn't say do it on your funded level account. Maybe jump on a practice account and just practice a few times trailing stops. Find those good points of invalidation where you can get yourself out of a trade without risking a whole lot of the profit that you already have in a trade. I've done that 1,000 times too, Creed. You know, you're up a decent amount of dough on a trade just to have it turn around and rip in your face, and you go from up $600 to down $400 in the blink of an eye. And it's heartbreaking. It's gut wrenching. You know, it tears me apart still to this day. So there are ways to get around it. You just got to get that screen time in. You know, keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Right? I'm sure you know how that feels, right?
Dude, oh my gosh, you guys are telling me. There was something that you guys had mentioned prior about the way price is moving. One of the things that I had been thinking about in terms of price, I mean, let's see what had happened. So last week, right, we had the news that came out. When was it? About the from the FOMC meetings, right? And that news, one of the things that I saw was it getting priced into the market prior to the news actually coming out. So, where is it? Here it is. This large move down. What we can see is leading into the news, we have strong pulls to the upside, right? No news comes out regarding news, right? And this is when inflation, or what was it? I can't remember it was, but price dropped 25 bips. This happened on Wednesday of last week. Nonetheless, am I in the wrong time frame? Yes, I am. So right here is where the movement was. Right here, we price in the news, Trump wanting to get trades done, all this adding up together, right? We can see that happening. No news happened, right? But it's still getting priced into the market. As soon as news comes out, it's bullish news, but there's so much liquidity from it getting priced in that we end up coming all the way down, sweeping out all this low level liquidity. This might not be the right time frame, right? But this is a really good example of it that it still applies, right? Where it gets priced in, there's liquidity lying right here. Whether or not it's bullish or bearish, we take out all of this liquidity and then we move price higher. Just because the news is bullish doesn't mean that it's going to go bullish right off the tick and right as soon as news is released. Typically, what happens is if it's getting priced in and there's high anticipation for news, we'll get a bullish or a bearish closure, sweeping out the liquidity so that it can push price higher, right? This is typically when retail traders get in, is right here when it's getting priced in. It's like, hey, I want to catch the move before the move happens. But
like they're the first to sell when things don't look good.
Absolutely, absolutely. It gets sold off, and then all those people that were trying to ride the train before the train got going, they get kicked out, they get stomped out, and then that's when the real move happens. Unfortunately for me, that's not within my strategy to trade that type of news, so I wasn't able to capitalize on that large move. But I was still able to analyze the chart as such, right? So there's times where I
just made a new
market moving. Go ahead.
Just made a new high here in the NASDAQ for the day, 25,828 quarter. There was 100 lot on the offer, 25,827.75. We did fill all of that. Seeing a little bit of a pullback here. There was a question in the chat from Dan Trader. Shout out to Dan Trader joining all the time here. Thanks for being here at Top Step TV. Has a question. What would you say to someone trying to short this move on the idea that it is overextended? Not me, thankfully, not me this time, but I'm sure someone is. What I would say, Dan, and I want to get you guys' opinion as well, because we've all been there, right? Where you have an idea, the market is not agreeing with your idea, but you're saying, hey, you know what? It can't keep going up. What I would say, Dan, I'm looking at a 30-minute chart here in the NASDAQ. Since the New York session opened, we have not had one red candle. So even if you have a trade setup that says short, right? And you want to take it, one, know where your risk is. And then two, measure the outcome of a short. What's the best short since the New York session started? What is the best short that could have happened in the NASDAQ today? The best trade a short could have gotten was 94 points so far today, right? Now, could it happen that we just fall apart? Absolutely. But if I have reasonable expectations for a short, then okay, right? It's a counter trend trade. If I'm looking for 20 points, maybe, but realistically, the best trade that a short could have gotten today since the New York session started, 100 points. And I'm not expecting to catch 100 points. So if you have reasonable expectations and trade in a good trade location, are there opportunities to the short side? For sure. But longs buyers have been just having a better day. Who's happier right now if you look at this chart, right? And it is more than likely a buyer. And that's the way I think about it.
I mean, it's a textbook day, We continue to make higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That's a textbook trending market, If you do want to step in front of this thing, I would suggest, waiting for a little bit of structure. Maybe take out a swing low, which we have right here in the ES. Our most recent swing low, 68.39, even on this 5-minute chart. Wait for some structure to build. Take out that level, and maybe start creating a little downside momentum before you get into a trade on the short side. It's easy to pick tops in these types of markets too because it's moving so slowly, but it's also death by 1,000 cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick tops all day long with tight risk and just get nicked and nicked and nicked 100 times. And at some point, is the good trade going to be able to cover all the bad trades that you already made? So at some point.
Great point. You really
also
watch how Jack managed that house account trade, right? Jack was short 68.44 in the S&P, and it's a scratch. That's a winning trade right now, right? Where you probably had 5 points in profit, but realizing that it's a counter trend trade, if the market doesn't give me what I'm looking for, especially if I'm counter trend, then I got to manage my risk, right? And taking that trade as a scratch is a winner, and I think that's probably what you have to do on the short side for now until the market confirms it. And if it never confirms it, then that's just not the right idea. And we've all been there, right? Been on the complete opposite side of the market. It's like, what the hell is everybody seeing? I see a short and everyone keeps buying it. It keeps going up. And that's why risk management and really trying to be objective in the markets and say, hey, what is the market looking for? Not what I'm looking for. And then get aligned that way. And if you're not, manage your risk. Creed, do you ever find yourself on the wrong side of the market?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, John was just hitting on that, right? Getting married to your bias. And then there's times where you get so married to your bias that you take a loss so big that it's like, wow, shouldn't have done that, right? And that
shouldn't have done that. Oh man.
You think. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the typical win percentage in day trading is like almost 65 or maybe even 55%, right? So if you're losing trades and they're equal to your winners, it's hard to be profitable. But at the same time, if you minimize your losses and you're maximizing your winners, like JD just showed us with this house account trade, you definitely are profitable. Whether that's 51%, 52%, or anything like that, right? Because at the end of the day, you're up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. JD, I'm cracking up laughing over here. And it's not funny to laugh at anybody's losses, but when I first started trading, one of my coworkers was pretty much YOLOing an NVIDIA trade. And so we're in the office after the fact, watching the earnings call. Everyone's, talking about their trades. And he bought it was like $5,000 worth of calls, NVIDIA calls. And right as the earning calls comes out, he just goes, oh man, should have bought puts. And NVIDIA is just tanking. It's like, yeah.
It's a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
Immediate hindsight realization is like, damn, I should have bought puts. It's like, well, that's what happens. You're gambling on earnings.
If every instinct you've ever had has been wrong, then the opposite must be right. Correct?
Oh no.
Yep. Absolutely. Continuing to grind here, 25, 8, 15s. Creed, what does the rest of your day look like? So you're locked out. Football practice already happened. I'm assuming you hit the weight room already.
No, what does the rest of your day look like? Practice at 1:30, and right after I'm done with this call, I'm gonna go meet with the coaches, go get some treatment. My days are so jam packed that they're flying by, right? To the point where it's just like so repetitive.
So what I will say to that, and you're in college right now, it's your days is jam packed, it's scheduled. Do you think that helps you as a trader? because you know you have like a certain allotted time that I have to execute trades with my like full focus. And you, like you said, you know, sometimes you're on the bus and you're trading, or you might be thinking about the charts, but really you have probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours, was what it sounds like, for trading. Do you think that helps at all?
There's times where it definitely does, right? Because there's it gets to the point
Mm,
where I don't want to force a trade, but at the same time, having that time constraint is like, hey, I want to trade. I want to find a trade right now, right? And so there's two sides
yeah.
to that coin, right? So it just, if you're disciplined enough, it's definitely a really good situation. But if you're still like a beginning trader, and you don't have that discipline built up, or even if you're been trading for forever and you don't have that discipline, it can, like you said, just, you can take the bottom half of that glass, right, instead of looking at it full.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times what we hear traders say all the time is just like, oh, I'm trading for time freedom and things like that. And then they don't plan out what the rest of their day looks like when they're not trading. So then it's just easy to come back to the charts, right? It's, hey, the charts are always open. They're open 23 hours. I don't have anything else to do. So I'm just going to trade. So I think having that schedule can be beneficial. But like you said, you also don't want to be like, hey, I have limited time here. There's a lack of opportunity because I only have 2 hours. So I need to force something, right? You still have to have a setup play out in the time frame that you're looking at the charts. Uh, but you know that there was that conversation earlier in the year, JD. I don't know what happened with it, but the stock market being open 24/7, even on the weekends, I think that's the worst thing that could happen.
Sounds
For
like a
traders,
nightmare.
for traders,
Honestly.
for
Oh
for
gosh,
exchanges, for commissions and things like that. Oh yeah, let's do it. Open them up. Can we get more hours in the day? But for traders, I think that's probably the worst thing that could happen.
yeah, you got that right.
Worst thing that could happen here.
I
Seeing
agree.
the
I
markets kind
agree.
of slow down just a little bit here. Oh, just a reminder to everyone, we have a group coaching form pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you get your questions in there. JD, Hogue, Hoop are going to be back for group coaching after shoulder tap. Make sure you get your questions in. We do have the president speaking as well at the top of the hour. So we'll probably try to get out of here in just a little bit. I don't know that we're going to bring that in, but President Trump is speaking at the America Business Forum at the top of the hour. We know that anytime the president is in front of the microphone, that is an opportunity for volatility. So make sure you watch out and you know where your stops are. Let the market confirm a trade setup, and we go from there. And my mouse just died, so I'm going to figure out how I get out of this green room with with a dead mouse. Make sure your batteries are always charged as well. Creed,
Pro tip, Jay.
thanks for joining.
Get yourself.
I know. Pro tip.
Pro tip for all you traders out there: don't use a wireless mouse. Get a hardwired in mouse, and you'll thank me later.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Get a wired mouse. Get a wired mouse. But Creed, thanks for joining. Good luck with the rest of your football season, man. One more time, shout out where you go to school. Chat wanted to know. Chat, do not bet on Creed's games. Okay, I saw somebody say that in the chat. Don't do that. But Creed, where are you
Oh, yeah,
going to
don't do
school? And good luck with the rest of your season, man.
Thank you so much. I go to New Mexico Highlands University, and actually, this past weekend
Okay.
there was some betters. We were, I think we were plus like 15,000 to win the game.
Oh wow!
And it was a really
Oh, wow.
close game until it wasn't. But those lines, like Jay said, don't bet on my game.
There you go.
Well, now we all have to bet on your next game.
There you go.
I'm joking.
Oh
I'm
my
joking.
gosh! Hey, the next two games, you guys can definitely be winners. You definitely can be winners.
That is not financial advice. That's just Creed with some confidence in his football team.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jay.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you all for hanging around. JD, we're going to see you back with group coaching. We got a shoulder tap coming up next. I believe it is Jack and Ben for shoulder tap. Then after that, group coaching again. Make sure you get your questions in there. President speaking in just a couple minutes here, so we're sure the markets are going to move. Stay tuned into Top Step TV. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll be right back. Let's go.
Click like, click subscribe. This is Top Step TV.
and an even quarter bid, half bid, the orders bid, even bid. Now I'm a seller, quarter, half, the orders, and even.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Shoulder Tap. I'm Jack, joined by risk manager Ben. Ben, how's everything going today?
It's going well. Another very busy day on the risk team. Lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff flying around, and lots of activity in the markets, including overnight. Had a lot of people flying out of the gate, making money, losing money right at the session open. I think that tends to happen when we have, an increase in volatility, sharp moves, big P&Ls. I think there's some FOMO maybe that kicks in, but yeah, pretty much since session open, we've been full speed ahead. And we've had a number of traders that have really taken home some big profits, but far more who have ended up red on the day. I think, another move lower, trend lower overnight, and then a rebound and recovery during the regular trading hours. That's pretty brutal action. If you woke up and felt like you were late to the short and then get short, you get blown out, or vice versa. Frankly, on the session open, lots of stuff happening. So it's exciting to watch. Overall, wish the live account performances were a little bit better, but I'm sure that's the case every day. Let's talk about the folks who did happen to get it right today, or at least take a bite out of the market and walk away. We've been in communication with all these traders to make sure that they're locking in, their profits. Got several people up, healthy 5 figures, somebody up over 20 grand. So kudos to those traders. There's quite a few people just underneath that threshold as well. $8,000, $9,000 P&Ls also. So still quite a bit of trading going on. Plenty of people at the daily loss limit as well. It's been a hell of a day so far, Jack, and there's more action. So we'll keep you all updated as the day goes along.
Great. And great job to all these traders. Just a reminder right now, President Trump will be speaking. We do not have access to the feed, but looks like it's Fox News. Brett Byers hosting the American Business Forum, so that should be kicking off shortly. So keep your head on the swivel. Speaking of swiveling, the trader we have today.
What a transition. Yeah, we've got a head scratcher today. Let's pull up the trading card for Dan. Trader's been with us since April 1st, and you are not reading that incorrectly. It's not a typo. The average daily P&L is -$1. And that actually is even more impressive when you take into account how we got there and the day-to-day performance. There's been some pretty wild P&L swings, particularly since about July. The P&L volatility has picked up some, and really just all over the place. Down $1,000, up 900, down 400, up 900. Kind of teeter tottering back and forth. With and the ends of the teeter totter are relatively far apart. So yeah, it's difficult to dissect exactly what needs to change here. I have to give credit where it's due. Surviving in the live markets for this amount of time period, 65 trading days completed, it's difficult to do. Not a lot of traders can even do that. So, you are head of the pack in some ways, but at this point, we definitely need to find a way to turn profitability. Just surviving is not what we do this for. And I would even go a step further. Quite curiously, haven't taken a payoff from this account either, despite the balance being almost exactly where it was when we started this account. So, I'm a big advocate, Jack. I know we've talked about this before. If you're kind of, treading water, not really gaining ground or losing ground, just kind of stuck in a rut, taking a payout can sometimes be the mental and emotional reset button that you need, to change going forward. Reevaluate. I don't quite know if it's a mindset thing, if it's a just an edge in trading thing, because clearly they can put up winning days. They've got 30 winning days in this account, and some of them quite large. A $7,000 winning day. I'm really interested to know what was going on with the trader in that day, and it doesn't. A lot of times, what we see, Jack, when someone put up 7, 8, 10, 10x, what their prior best winning day was. A lot of times there's chaos that ensues, and lots of daily loss limits and swinging for the fences after that. Interestingly, there hasn't been a tremendous amount of that. Yes, we've got a couple of larger losing days there, but it's not as though they just fell off a cliff. They've made money on several days throughout, October leading up to current day. So really interesting. Not sure what's going on here after having gone pretty deep into the trade reports. What nuggets are you able to pull out of this when you were looking at it, Jack?
This one is super hard to decipher. So only trading one product, trading the ES. There's that one decently big day, has hit the DLL 32 times. I'm not sure what happened yesterday. This trader lost 2,000. Did they expand their risk limit or something? There's a 50K account. I'm not sure. There weren't any numbers yesterday, to my knowledge, but somehow did that. Uh, we're not allowed to give financial advice, but I have one. Let's put it this way. Here's what I would do. You got 65 days. The big key piece of information here of what I think is going wrong when I look at this is they're trading full ES contracts. And it looks to me as if they're trading at like four of the, a lot of these trades with one trade, I see 8 contracts. So I'm guessing this person is all in, all out with 4 ES. Okay.
Yep.
4 ES is like, where's the ES at right now? 6850. Bear with me for a second. 6850 times 50 times 4 is 1.4 million, let's call it nominal exposure. Okay. With that in mind, if you tread water this long, that seems like too much size. And since there's no payouts and this person has 30 winning days, my strong suggestion is if you want to keep doing it this way, take out half your money and cut your size in half.
Mm.
Or if you're not going to take the payout, still cut your size in half, because trading that much size while averaging scratch over 65 days, it feels like you're tempting a big drawdown here.
Yeah.
The equity curve is interesting. I didn't share it because I made it at the last second. Really just kind of a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up. Thus, they haven't really used too much of their account on any given day, but that's just because that's what their daily loss limit is and their balance hasn't really changed. But man, I would strongly consider cutting your size in half, even if you want to keep all the money in it. But if you want to change nothing, take half this money and cut your size in half or a quarter. Trade one ES. That's all I can glean from this. Anything else you see?
No, I think sizing gives you more flexibility. When you size down, then that gives you room to, if you have stronger conviction, or see evidence that you're right in the trade. It's no different than seeing the flop after you bet on a strong 2 card hand and hold them, and you see the flop, and now there's new evidence that supports you're in the right trade, and the first bet was a good bet. Now you can add to it from there. So definitely not financial advice, but I like scaling down to start, so that you give these trades a little bit of room to breathe, and then maybe consider finding a way to add to the trade when you see that it's working, or something to that effect. I know that there's something here, and something that can be done to to get us on the right path, but starting by sizing down is probably a good place to start.
I mean, someone in the chat brings up a very good point. It seems that these trades must be for incredibly small scalps. I'm thinking maybe this trader trades overnight, and that's how they got slipped last night. Because I'm pretty sure that they are trading 4 E-mini S&Ps at a clip, if I'm reading this right. And
Mhm.
yet, as they point out, the winning trades. It's a very confusing card, I'll give you that much. But the good news is they haven't damaged the account in any way, and they have gotten those 30 winning days. So that's the biggest thing I can say. Just take a payout and keep on trying to do it. And if it works,
Yep.
good for you. If it doesn't, well, you took out some money. So that's all I have to say for Japan.
Amen. Seconded. Here, here. That's all I got too.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing this card. This was interesting. You know what else is interesting, Ben? We are well, not the S&Ps because they're just where they were for a while now. But we do have group coaching coming on next. Now, this is a special one because this is your last chance to see JD before he goes deer hunting for the next 2 weeks. So get your JD fix, your Hogue fix, your Hoop fix on group coaching next. Ask your questions. We'll see if Trump gets this market a rocking. Thanks, Ben. And this is Top Step TV. We'll be back right after this.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome back to Top Step TV. Congratulations, you made it to the right place at the right time. It's everybody's favorite time of day. It's time for group coaching. Hope you all had a minute to grab yourself a ham sandwich, warm glass of milk, tall glass of beer, whatever you need to get through this Hump Day Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hogue, how you doing? Coach Hoop, what's going on? We got a couple of VIP coaches here. Hogue, what's been going on? We missed you the last hour. You've been on all day. You go bell to bell all the time. Did you take a break, or are you watching the market still?
No, I took a little break. It's very nice outside, so I went and walked around outside for a little while and had a little breakfast sandwich and got ready for the session here. Beautiful day. Had to get out there and take a look, walk around a little bit. Feels good. Feel like I got a little exercise, which is always good.
Good for you. Good for you. Hoop, I've seen you in the chat all day long talking about live cattle. What's going on in cattle? Are you in that market? Tell us everything. What do we need to know?
I didn't catch it. If you look at my chart, the feeder cattle has kind of been the whole kind of leader of what's been going on with cattle. That's a lot of the cattle that comes over the border from Mexico. And of course, Trump all got this market into free fall last week when he talked about bringing in cattle from Argentina. We're going to get beef prices down. So today, VWAP, we left it right out of the box and we never saw the light of the day. The feeder cattle went limit down early. Usually that should be at least a fundamental sign to lean into a short. And when you deal, and this is we talk about the mental side of trading. When you deal with markets like gold, cattle, equities is a little bit different because it seems like they're in a perpetual bid mode. But when those markets shift, I mean, if I go to my daily on cattle, on October 16th, cattle made contract highs. And Hogue, we've had this conversation. When everything looks the best, it is when you have to look at, and this is just a commodities thing. When everything looks the best and it just feels like the market is going to go no higher, it turns around. So on 10/16, we made a high of 248.30. We broke $28 off that high. And this is where technicals and fundamentals can just overcook a market. And right now, there's been a lot of longs in this market. And I guarantee you, Hogue, when we look at the open interest numbers tomorrow, end of the last 2 days, you are going to see a lot of long liquidation here in the last 3 days. So if anybody sees, you can also see in my chart, there's a limit down. Limit down, which means we cannot go any lower. And that's a lot. 1,000 contracts in cattle. That's pretty strong with, call it, a half hour to go in the day. So what that would mean is typically, Hogue, how do we treat that? There's a good chance we're going to open up lower and pretty significant as we walk into the day tomorrow, because this business here at Limit Down has just not got finished. So the only way they get to finish their business, there's no overnight. They have to just decide tomorrow morning again, hey, I still got to get out of my position. So this is, when you deal with limit contracts, they get a little dicey. And once again, you can buy it, but it's a scary trade.
Yeah, there's over 1,000 on the offer there.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's likely going to open lower tomorrow.
I just got an update from our production crew in the back. We do have a live feed of President Trump speaking right now to the U.S. Business Forum. We'll see what he's talking about. Maybe we'll pipe that in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Sodbuster in the chat. Looks like he's off his meds again. Hope you get better, brother. You're always welcome here. Let's check in on these markets again real quick. Let me refresh my platform real quick.
Zombie mode got
Take a look
activated.
at the tilt. ES 52% long in the tilt, NQ 57% long, 64% long in crude, and 58% long in gold. Pretty much flat across the board. Not much happening in the markets right now. We've gone pretty flat. soon as I get word from our guys in the back, we'll start piping in this Trump speech. I don't see any headlines coming across the wire right now, so we can't be talking about too much, right? If he had something important to say, I'm sure we would have heard about it, but we'll pipe it in nonetheless. We've also got your questions. Thank you for submitting. That form is still pinned to the top of the chat. If you got a question, go ahead, grab that form, fill it out. If you got a question for one of the three of us or all three of us combined, go ahead and do it. Oh, still not talking yet. Just got the update. Thank you, Gabe. Gabe's in the back, keeping an eye on things for us. Scheduled for noon, but still no talking yet.
Hey, Hogue, when you get done with your therapist for crude, can you let me know when there's an opening? Because I'm going to be right behind you on that freaking market. What a pistol that thing is this morning.
Yeah, it sure was.
I mean, it's just, yeah.
It was a rough morning.
It was, well, yeah, and it's, fade the number, and then, it's just, once again, Andre said it earlier, it used to be one of the most traded markets here, and now it's just it's a very it's a tough trade in a range trader, and then it breaks out of range. Yeah. So like I said, when the appointments open up in the appointment book, let me know. I'll be right behind you.
I will certainly let you know. I will certainly let you know.
All right, guys. Well, before President Trump finds that podium, the microphone, and the camera, let's hit a couple of questions while we still got a chance, right? First question comes from Vanare. I saw you highlighted this one. Vanare says, "Hey, Coach Hogue. Coach Hogue gave an awesome explanation regarding large buying on the half hour. I learned so much from you guys. Thank you. My question is around 10-ish. Coach Hogue said there was a bull flag. Where did he see that, and how would you play that move? Playing bull flags. Well, first I want to give you a reference to our website, topstep.com. We have blog articles on all kinds of technical analysis, charting patterns. So you can go to that website. It'll explain to you exactly what these chart patterns are, how to trade them, how to set your stops around them, and also that thousands and thousands of other traders are also looking at these same patterns. So you got to kind of play the reverse psychology to them when you're looking at them sometimes. But Hogue, a bull flag. How do you play a bull flag? What's a breakout confirmation on a bull flag?
Well, I don't recall saying bull flag this morning when we were talking about that initial balance high and seeing those buyers coming in on that, but it doesn't mean there wasn't one. Let's take a quick look. All right, let's take a look at the S&Ps. Okay.
Was it 10 o'clock Central Time? Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah.
On a shorter time frame, it's there.
Yeah. So you could kind of be looking at this and saying, okay, well, we put in the high here. Now we put in a series of lower highs and a series of lower lows kind of off of that. So that could be a bull flag, right? It's not a real clean one, if you ask me. But the things I'm going to be looking for when I see a bull flag is lowering volume. So as price continues to push lower over time, I want to see volume slowing. You can play a bull flag one of two ways. You can buy the lower end of the channel and then add to it on the breakout of the upper side of the channel, or you can just be patient, look for a confirmation above the upper side of the channel, take your long, and then take advantage of it. There's actually a better, cleaner bull flag right here. This one is just a little shorty 15-20 minute bull flag, but this is again contrary to the bigger picture, right? So we're already seeing the market pushing higher. You get very narrow ranges, lowering volume, and you can take the breakout above. You can try and buy the lower end of the channel. A little bit of a preemptive, but you can try and do that. So if you were, looking to buy a pullback, you bought the low end of the channel, you got the breakout on the upper side of the channel where you can add to that. But those are just basic bull flags, bear flags happen the opposite way. You know, the price moving lower, you get a move in the opposite direction. Narrow range, low volume. And there's your bear flag. But yeah, I don't think I was talking about a bull flag this morning. We were just talking about how, you know, we had the failed upside auction in the S&Ps. It was starting to pay us a little bit, but wasn't paying much. And we saw, you know, as we were kind of coming into this failed upside auction, right before the close, we did see some pretty considerable buying coming in. And so that's when I was saying, somebody wants to close this higher than this. Somebody wants to take out this high. And so if we were short, we had to be we had to be cautious. But once we broke out of the initial balance high, and when did it happen? Right at 10 o'clock, 10:25, 10:30. And we saw that buying coming in right in front of that. So that, again, that's another timed order. Here's, you know, maybe another little bit of a timed order here. 11:30, another timed order here. So I don't remember saying the bull flag, but that's in essence what a bull flag is. That sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Yep, sure. Let's I was talking about bull flags. That could be what this trader was referring
Oh,
to.
okay. Yeah.
Monterey.
Yeah, good.
So I was during the last segment, Jack was short in the house account in the ES from 68.44. He had a handful of shorts on. And I did pick out this this minor bull flag here on a 3-minute chart. It looked pretty clean set up. Characteristics of a bull flag are obviously the flagpole leading up to a point of consolidation, which we have right here, starting with this swing high at 68.4675, and finishing up at the swing low down here at 68.39. So I did draw in this tiny 3-minute bull flag, and pointed out our confirmation would be somewhere around, our confirmation or breakout would be somewhere around here, 68.45 half, which we ultimately got, and we saw some continuation up. So those are typical basic characteristics of a bullish flagging pattern. It's basically just a pull off, a period of consolidation after a rally. Oop, do you even look at these chart patterns anymore? Are they something that are part of your arsenal? Do you like?
No, I mean, I look at them, but I think what happens to me earlier in my career is I used to preempt them. Oh, here comes the bull flag. Like if you look at my chart here, like I would get, here's your flagpole, and then here's a little bit of consolidation, and like, oh, here it comes. Oh yeah, maybe not. So once again, once we get in, I call it like today when we broke out and got in zombie mode and we held, I would start to look at these now because we've always talked about this. You know, when the ATR dropped here, you know, from this morning and it starts, this is what you were saying earlier, JD. ATR started to drop off, right? So here comes the slower market, right? Here we go. You know, these are going to be, you know, sometimes they're not going to be a lot, right? I mean, when you try and get in a directional market, sometimes that market, Hogan, you said it, makes it an absolute bear to get in here, no pun intended. And, you know, these are areas to at least try to get in. And then now we're going through a bunch of consolidation right now. So, yeah, I mean, I do identify them, but I kind of look at them more, JD, when we go directional like this and saying, okay, do I want to get in and think we have more to the upside? And really, as this motion kind of slowed and we've kind of flattened out, that probably was as good a spot as any to take risk, you know. So
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
I do, but more when we go directional than I am looking for every 3-minute or 5-minute, you know, bull flag or bear flag.
Yep.
It was once told
and,
to
you know,
me,
not everybody. What's that, Hogue?
Directional market tries to keep you out.
Oh, 100%.
This is true.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Truly directional market.
Let me in.
Directional market. Yeah. It'll have you selling highs all day long, picking tops, trying to get in, picking tops, picking tops, picking tops.
100%.
And that's
and
how
buy it. Yep.
Yep. Absolute account killer moves, you know, because it's cheaper to get in on the short side. That's what people are looking for. Cheap trades to get in. But I do think it's important to know about these chart patterns in general,
Very
whether
basic.
you're just getting started. Yeah, they're very basic.
Sure.
This is technical analysis that goes back 150, almost 200 years, right? This stuff has been around forever. And what does that mean? It means a lot of people are looking at the same patterns you are. So when you're looking at these patterns, you can kind of tell what a lot of people are going to do when they're trading. And we all know that the market is going to do whatever screws the most amount of people, right? So when you see people setting up to trade on one of these patterns, you can see it just by looking at the chart where their stop's going to be. And the market's just automatically going to gravitate to that level and burn everybody before it makes the move. This is not trading advice. Let's put up that disclaimer. No. But it's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. Also, you don't have, technically you don't have to use these chart patterns to create trade setups off of, but they're good things to be able to recognize because a lot of other traders are seeing the same thing that you are. Right? Does that make sense, everybody?
100%.
Cool. So we have just gone sideways in the ES right now. We've been barcoding since about 11:30. Gold has officially settled for the day, 12:30 p.m. Central Time. Official gold settlement price. Let me see if I can get a gold settlement price. I don't see it yet. I'll come back to you with it.
I'm telling you right now, that opening candle tomorrow is going to be wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's so once again, I do because it's what I learned about, and obviously not just from the floor, but from family. But this time of year, we talk about spot, or in this case, the SPX, with the S&P. It's the same thing with agricultural markets. You want to know where the spot market is or the cash. Typically, certain times a year, the cash market runs a little bit discount or a little premium. And right now, there's just the market open tomorrow on cattle will be extremely wild. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because typically, MP will appreciate this. Cash cattle is trading like 232. The futures are trading at 220. Typically, this time of year, it's like a max $2 to $3 difference. So there's a lot of disparity of what's going on in futures and cash. And JD and Hogue, when that goes on in an agricultural market, it'll create. I mean, the ATR in cattle's almost $5 in a day. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of volatility coming, and right now there's almost 1,200 on the offer in the pool. So yeah, it's going to be it'll be a wild open. And there goes new highs coming for the ES is going to go for
it. Yeah, ticking higher right now. Looking at the ES, we've got a high right now. I'm looking at the micro. I'm going to pull up the mini. We're not going to put on a trade. I'm going to see the real ladder. Got about 250, a tick above the high in the ES. Looks like someone's trying for a failed top play. That used to be one of my favorite trade setups during slow market times. Failed tops, failed bottoms. Very simple trade setup. You had to be in low volatility times, though.
Right.
Which this kind of is. This trade might play out right now. What it is
some news comes out from the decision or something, right? And then it evaporates everything, right? That'd sometimes the tape bomb of tape bombs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes.
Speaking of which, let's see if the president has made the podium yet. Doesn't look like it. So, 68.58. If that trades out, we'll see. What do you want to look for? Typical characteristics of a failed top play. So you would put your offer in 2 ticks, 3 ticks above the current high in a slow sort of dragging period like this. You look for a slight liquidity grab, and then for the market to come right back into range that it was trading in. It's a very low risk, high reward trade. You're risking 1.5. Basically, if you're trading minis in the S&P, you're risking $75 to make about $300 in the blink of an eye. That's the objective.
And you're using the dome a lot for that or the ladder, right, JD, on that too, because you can see where the offers are stacking up there, right? That's a ladder or dome play. Yeah, 100%.
This is 100% pure price action ladder read trade. You have to be staring at that ladder all day long to be picking up patterns. Yeah.
A little more on the high of the day.
right up against the 200 session moving average on the 30-minute chart. 68.57.85 is where it's at right now. 57.75 is the current high.
Man, the market, when it gets
Gotcha.
in these modes, I get chills when I see this. It gives me flashbacks, PTSD when I see this.
You get chills.
Just killing short. I mean, just absolutely eating shorts up right now. Eating them.
Yeah.
Grinding them up, yeah.
Oh,
so here we are. We're 2 ticks from a new high. Let's see if this trade plays out. I didn't put it on, of course. But if I was going to take this trade, I would have, hypothetically, I'd have an offering at 68.58
right
right
off
now.
of it.
Yep. Bounce right off of it.
We were talking this morning on the opening call about a directional move in the opposite direction from the most recent price activity.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You think we're getting it today?
Maybe just a shade. Yeah.
Maybe a little. All right,
I mean,
guys.
if you watched the market last night on the open, it was brutal how bad the market sold off in the overnight too. And to watch it.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've rallied 100 and almost 100 handles in the ES. 67.48 half overnight.
Couldn't quite take out that high in the ES. All right,
Nope.
Let's do a quick.
Trying.
Let's have how about a quick news break, guys? We'll come back to the ES when it's back on its highs.
Okay.
All right, that ADP number came out. The U.S. economy added 42,000 private sector jobs last month. That's more than 4,000 more than analysts had expected. The latest employment snapshot comes from payroll processing company ADP. Its numbers typically serve as a proxy for the government's official jobs tally from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. However, the ongoing government shutdown prevented the release of an official jobs report for October. A report for this month isn't expected either. That should say September. Not expecting an October report either. The most recent Bureau of Labor Statistics job report from August showed unemployment rose to 4.3%, with the economy adding just 22,000 jobs. You remember how horrible those misses were on the jobs? So for the first time in years, there weren't enough open positions for those seeking employment. I'm going to repeat that. For the first time in many years, there weren't enough open positions for those seeking employment. For real? Here we go. They're singing the song. They're doing the thing.
This is quite the business forum. What's going on?
I don't know.
He's wearing Powell's tie.
Trump is speaking. Yeah. He's speaking from the U.S. Business Forum.
Here we go.
Entering to God Bless the USA. So we've pulled off those highs in the ES. Doesn't look like we're going to make a run in the next couple minutes. Let's grab another question from the chat.
Absolutely.
Savan says, hey guys, buying breakouts or buying peaks near the breakout point, I get sold into it. When not buying the breakout point, it then actually breaks out. Is this a matter of luck? How do I fix this and see the breakout or breakdown clearly? Well, we just kind of talked about that a little bit with these bear flag or bull flag patterns. There's a couple of different ways you could trade around them. Let me zoom in on this little 3-minute bull flag that we were talking about. So a couple ways to enter the market when you're trading these flagging patterns. So here is just a textbook bull flag, right? Swing high up at 68.46.76, swing low 68.39. How do you play this pattern? You could go the cheap way. Once the pattern starts forming, you can draw your channel line and you can get in cheaply on the lower channel line, or you can wait for the breakout above 68.45 and get confirmation. Oh, here we go.
In magnificent Florida, Miami, Florida, with thousands of incredible business leaders and true American patriots. That's what you are. We're gathered today on the one-year anniversary of the single most consequential election victory, they say. This is them, this isn't me. I'm a very modest person. I would never say this. The single most consequential election victory in American history. It's possible. I mean, it's possible. We've done a lot. On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We rescued our economy, regained our liberty, and together we saved our country. On that magnificent night, 365 days ago, you know, I was with a group of very important people, and they say, think of it, last week, just last week, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, they said, you were campaigning 1 year ago. I said, no, it felt like I've been in this position for so long. And it's right. At that point, 1 year ago, I was actually campaigning. We did the McDonald's shot. Remember the McDonald's shot? We did the garbage truck shot. And actually, the McDonald's one was the biggest hit in the history of Google. Can you believe that? Number one, the garbage truck did well, but not as well. I guess there's something about McDonald's, right? But it worked, and we won a tremendous election. We won all 7 swing states. We won the great state of Florida, by the way, by 1.4 million votes, which is unprecedented. Biggest victory ever in Florida, including an 11-point victory right here in a place called Miami-Dade County. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many decades. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. And we won 86% of the counties in America. That's a big one. 2,700 to 525. I'd say that's called a landslide, right? We got more votes from African Americans than any Republican candidate in history. We also won a record share of votes from the incredible Hispanic American community. There might be a couple of us, right? Biggest vote in history. And above all, we won a resounding mandate to make America great again, which is what we're doing. And every day since, I've been fighting to turn the promise made into the ultimate promise kept. We're going to do our job. We have a big job to do. We've done really well. I think it's the best 9 months, they say, of any president. And I really believe that if we can have a few more 9 months like this, you'd be very happy. You'd be very satisfied. But it's been pretty incredible, with trillions and trillions of dollars being poured back into our country by other countries and other places and people. 1 year ago, we were a dead country. Now we're a country that's considered the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's the hottest country. We are now in the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I'm pleased to report that today the United States has the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation anywhere. We have the greatest economy right now. A lot of people don't see that. But if you look at what's happening with all the factories, AI, auto plants all over the country being built, that if you would have thought about that 2 or 3 years ago, you would have said it was the opposite. They were all leaving. Now they're all coming in. They're all coming back and then some. And I think that we can honestly say, and I think you're going to see it even more so over the next 12 months, that this is the golden age of America. This is the golden age. In the prior 4 years, crooked Joe Biden oversaw less than $1 trillion of new investment in the United States. So in 4 years, less than, think of it, less than 1 trillion. That was not doing too good. In 9 months, I've secured commitments of over $18 trillion, and we're going to have $21 trillion within the first year. So Sleepy Joe did, think of that. In 4 years, he did less than $1 trillion. We're going to have 21 trillion in 1 year. I would say it's slightly better. Slightly, just a little bit better. The stock market has set 40-time all-time record highs, and just recently, record high, record high, record high. All of them, all of the different exchanges. GDP growth in the second quarter was an amazing, almost 4%. And as you know, they said, oh, it'll be 2% or 1%. And it's been really helped a lot by the tariffs. It's been really helped incredibly because this is really a transition period. We went from a horrible, failed country to a tremendous success. It's a transition, and yet we did almost 4%, triple and even quadruple almost every other country anywhere in the world. Think of that. In the third quarter, we're on track to achieve an estimated 4.2, maybe more. Who knows? I think if you go a couple of years out, you're going to see numbers like you've never seen because all of these places that are now under construction, they're being built, they're going to be open, and thousands of jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs are coming in, even building them. But when they open, that's when you're really going to see the numbers. We're building some of the biggest buildings ever built anywhere in the world. The AI buildings, you know, they can cover, they show displays of them. They can cover the island of Manhattan. They're so big. They literally can cover the island of Manhattan. In 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off of food stamps, which is a record. 1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today. Think of that. Almost 2 million American-born workers are employed today, more than when I took office. That's 9 months ago. Can you imagine that? And I tell Republicans, if you want to win elections, you got to talk about these facts, you know. It's really easy to win elections when you talk about the facts. And we have more people working now than at any time in the history of our country. Right now, we have more people working. These are things you have to talk about. It doesn't just happen. You got to tell them. It's wonderful to do them, but if people don't talk about them, then you can do not so well in elections. Wages for workers are rising at the fastest pace in over 60 years. Those are workers, and that's what we love. We love the workers. Since I took office, wages for the typical factory worker are up $1,300. Construction workers' pay is up $2,200, and miners are up nearly $5,000 this year alone. And that's good because it's not, you know, such an extra cost to the company. It really isn't. Somebody goes, oh, what's going to cost more? The fact is that they're doing such business like they've never done. You're going to start seeing numbers coming out very soon that are going to blow your mind. Under Biden, we had the worst inflation in modern history. We had inflation that was so bad, costing the typical family about $33,000 over a period of time. Their policies send food prices up 23. They come in, you know, when I first came in, I was in for 3 days, and one of the fake news members, they're all back there. That's a lot of press. Fake news. They said, egg prices are through the roof. I was there for 3 days, and this maniac, this lunatic person, happened to be a woman. Sir, what are you going to do about egg prices? And they'd gone up like 4 or 5 times. I said, well, you just told me it has a problem. And people weren't buying Easter eggs. You believe it? I said, we're buying Easter eggs for the White House, for the egg hunt, the famous egg hunt. But within a couple of months, we got them down. We have a great Department of Agriculture headed by Brooke Rollins, and we did a great job, and we got them down to the level they originally were a long time ago. And we have that in just about everything. And if we don't have it, we get them down. Their policies sent food prices soaring 23%, the Biden policies. And it wasn't him. It was the people surrounding him around the desk. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. Biden. How the hell did that happen? Well, I know how it happened. A rigged election. That's how it happened. Think of the damage done. Although I must tell you, but this is a much more powerful term. I mean, this is a much better term. In one way, it's bad to see how bad people... You're going to see the same thing in New York, by the way. You watch what happens in New York. Terrible. But you're going to see that same thing. And I hope it doesn't happen, but you're going to see it. Gas prices are surging to $5 a gallon, even higher, and mortgage rates skyrocketed by 152%. But under the Trump administration, all of that is changing. Prices are coming down very fast, and we're bringing them back to the beautiful part where you can have, and you can truly say, we're talking about the American dream again. You didn't used to hear that term. You heard it during my 4 years, and then it disappeared. Now you're hearing it again more than ever. Because we had the most successful economy in the history of our country during my first 4 years. We rebuilt the economy, cut the biggest tax cut in history. We had the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cut in history. That's why we had the great economy. And now the only difference is we're doing better this time. Actually, we're going to have a bigger, better, stronger economy than the first 4 years. And that was the most successful economy in history. Gasoline prices have plummeted to the lowest in 2 decades. We're going to soon see $2 gasoline. Think of that, $2 a gallon. It was up to $4.50, $5. And you know, when you get gasoline and you get oil and gas down, it's so big, it's so massive, the importance of it, that everything else starts to follow. And that's what's happening. Grocery prices are way down, and Walmart just announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal, this is the greatest. They're wonderful. They come out every year with how much does a Thanksgiving meal cost compared to last year, right? And it always goes up, up, up. It's 40%, 30% more. Is 25% lower than 1 year ago. Isn't that great? That's a big deal, Rima. That's a big deal. I don't know if they care about that in Saudi Arabia, but here it means a lot. We got the princess here from Saudi Arabia. She's got a lot of cash. Serious cash, and she's a great person. So she doesn't care about the price of a turkey is down a little bit, you know, she doesn't have to worry about it. Since March, the price of eggs is down 85%. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, despite the fact that we have a total nincompoop at the Federal Reserve. It was recommended by one of my real great people, who I'd never spoke to again. And the cost of the typical new mortgage is down by nearly $3,000 a year. Day by day, we're making America affordable again. It's going to be affordable again at a really record pace. And, you know, other people are going to take credit. All the mayors and all the governors, they're going to say what a great job. They didn't do a damn thing. Yet as we speak, the Democrats in Congress are trying to put all of this progress at risk and drag us back to the Biden policies of soaring prices, crushing energy costs, massive spending, open borders, let the world come into our country from prisons and from mental institutions, let them pour in, and rampant inflation. That's what Biden gave us, all of those things. With the reckless Democrat shutdown, virtually every Democrat in Congress has voted to hold the American people hostage in an effort to extort hundreds of billions of dollars in new spending. They're demanding free health care for illegal aliens that just came into our country from prisons.
And there you have it, folks. We're going to keep that running for just a minute. We're going to get out of here and make way for our counterparts in Trade with Top Step. Jack, Paul H., and Dolby Time will be up next. Then we're going to be closing out the day in Power Hour with Andre, Mandy, and Dolby Time. Keep it real, chat. You had me chortling through that entire experience. Bless you all.
Yes, they did.
Hoag Hoop, thank you for your time today. I'll catch you all in a couple weeks. I'm heading west,
Be
young
safe.
man. Young men. Yes.
Be safe.
Have a great time, JD.
Enjoy it, man.
I'll send pictures. I'm off to the fields of Minnesota. Minnesota. You betcha.
Yeah, I hate it.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Trade with Top Step. We're going to keep President Trump's speech rolling, and Trade with Top Step will be starting in just a couple of minutes. Jack, Paul H., and Dolby Time. Catch you all later. Top Step TV. Here we go.
He's a mean person. He's a divider. He's a divider. Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. And by the way, ask him how he's doing on his museum library. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars of cost overruns. It's come to a dead halt. He built it in not a particularly good location. He's not into real estate, you know. He doesn't know about location. He doesn't know about location, but he built it in a location that's not going to be too good. But the thing has come to a dead halt. It's way over budget. It's sort of like Gavin Newsom in California. He's got a train that was supposed to go from San Francisco to Los Angeles, which is a stupid idea because an airplane is faster. I don't care how fast it goes. And they had plenty of airplanes. San Francisco, inside San Francisco to inside right there, L.A. And what they did is they said, oh, man, this has been going on for years. It's billions and billions of dollars over budget. So what they decided to do is cut it. so that it doesn't go into San Francisco and into LA. It way short of both. And then they cut it again and again and again. Pretty soon they're going to have like 2 miles of track. Billions and billions of dollars, totally incompetent. The biggest cost overrun proportionately that I've ever seen. Many, many, many times more. And it's no longer the same. It was supposed to go into the city. Now it's way short, many miles short of the city. So they're going to drop you off and you can walk the rest of the way. That train is going to haunt him. You watch, because he doesn't have what it takes. I tell you that. Slimy guy. He's a slimy one. Maybe that should be his nickname. Slimy Newscomb, right? But he doesn't have it. But you look at that train, it's going to cost him. Republicans have